Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my recap and review for the 2021 Golden Globe Awards. Well, Hollywood Foreign Press, you did something there. I don't know if proper accountability was it, but you did something. So let's go ahead and talk about the ceremony. And as is customary here with my awards coverage, starting off with our best and worst dress lists. So starting off the best dressed, I have legendary Miss Angela Bassett, who looks stunning in this sexy purple ensemble, coupled with that amazing long braid. She made quite the statement for this understated ceremony. Anya Taylor-Joy looked drop dead gorgeous tonight. This green dress was super sexy, voluptuous, with all of the elegance and class you hope for from an awards ensemble, coupled with that pitch perfect makeup, that absolutely stunning hair. She was perfection, head to toe. Elle Fanning brought the awards glamour, even though she was staying at home for the ceremony itself, in this beautiful light blue turquoise-esque silky number. The dramatic drapery coming off of her shoulders added for this great drama that the dress needed. It was a beautiful piece, and she certainly brought the glitz and glamour to the show. Kaylee Cuoco looked like a glamorous princess in this big ball gown embellished with just the right amount of stones all throughout the skirt and up through the bodice. She simply looked magical in her backyard photo shoot. And as for the men, Tahar Rahim took the top spot for me in this really sleek, high class looking, double breasted navy blue suit with that nice, simple black turtleneck underneath. He looked great. Now, there were others that looked really nice, but it was so difficult to see everyone's ensemble, as so many were just shot in basically the same aspect as what you're seeing here. So I didn't get a full scope of their outfit. But Carey Mulligan was bringing some beautiful class, and that lovely silver number that she was wearing. Daniel Kaluuya looked fire when he won his award. Yaha Abdul Mateen looked amazing as well. And how could I forget Gal Gadot and Jamie Lee Curtis, who lit up that stage when they came out. And now for my least favorite outfits of the evening. And this was a weird one because, yes, we had Jason Sudeikis and accepting an award in this like tie-dye hoodie. We had several people wearing pajama-like frocks for the ceremony. But I think that most all of that actually worked. The comfy kind of look was right on brand for the folks who went with it, and I didn't really have a problem with going that route when you were doing a stay-at-home award ceremony. But these folks that I chose mostly tried, and many of them actually were at the ceremonies themselves, but it just came up short. And we're starting off with one of the big winners of the evening, Andra Day. I think Andra looked fantastic from neck up. Her makeup was pitch perfect. She was stunning. However, this dress just didn't do it for me. And I know a lot of people were praising her look beforehand, but oh, I think this was a miscalculation. This very weird cutout pattern of the top almost gives it like a crocheted type of atmosphere. And then we get to that bottom. The disconnect from the design of the top down to the bottom is too stark. And we have this flowy, almost wanting to be a ball gown type of bottom, but it just kind of fell flat. I absolutely adore the color of Cynthia Erivo's dress. This lime green is stunning. However, that material is horrendous. The look of this dress is completely thwarted by whatever cheap horrid material was used to create it. Not to mention the structure was very strange, paired with those white gloves, it didn't really work, paired with that shoe, didn't really work. And then this like edgy, classy makeup. Everything about this was just so disjointed and all over the place that Cynthia Erivo's daring attempt at fashion just missed the mark. Sophia Carson appears to have grabbed two curtains and tried to makeshift a dress out of them because this is an unfinished mess. First, I hate that big bow on the shoulder. It is completely disproportionate and swallows her up. And then we have it leading down to the train. There's just so many better ways to execute this. The two colors together look nice and she looks beautiful. However, there's no structure to the garment itself, and it looks like she just draped herself in her furnishings from her living room and kind of cinched it a tad to make it look like it actually was made to be worn by a human. Zuri Hall, ma'am, what is going on? First of all, this being a two-piece really takes it down. The proportions just don't quite work. She's an extremely thin woman. She's stunning, and this did her no favors. But then she's wearing like this putrid red shag carpet, and it looks completely uncomfortable. The top is just horrible. It really looks like it's just like pinching her breasts up into this little band, and couple that on with this really bad shag carpet look that's going on. Everything about this is a no. Then it pains me to say I have to put Daniel Levy on my worst list. I did not like this suit. I thought the color was horrible. The fabrics just didn't work. That clunky shoe. Ugh, no thank you. And then the mismatch with that gold undershirt. None of this really worked. And then finally, the hostess with the leastest. We had Miss Tina Fey, and only her second outfit is really making this list. I liked her little suit mini dress. If it was just a little bit more fitted, it would have made it onto my favorite list. But that second dress that she changed into was a complete and total disaster. That floral print taking over, the fit was so big, just swallowing her up. And the mismatch, it looks like some sort of Frankenstein's nightmare of a Golden Globe ensemble. No thanks, Tina. Burn it. Now, onto the ceremony itself. Let's talk about Tina Fey and Amy Poehler as our hosts. Well, I think their opening dialogue was actually fire. It was so good. They were not afraid to come for everyone, whether it be nominees, just general celebrity and society, or the Hollywood Foreign Press themselves, as well as all of awards culture. It was actually a really great opening monologue. I loved what they had to say straight to the Hollywood Foreign Press. I love that they went after music. They even jabbed Emily in Paris. It was a great opening monologue. And they did point it out in their jokes at the beginning as well, but it was quite an interesting choice to have the first responders there. I understand it's kind of fun to be a part of a Golden Globe ceremony you potentially could get on TV. But as I said, it's kind of putting them a little bit at risk for what? For what? But I mean, if they volunteered, if they had a good time, then I guess it could be a nice tribute to them. However, after that opening monologue, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler really had nothing to contribute to the ceremony. They were there. They had like two outfit changes. They didn't really have any more bits themselves. It went to other cutaway packages, almost all of which were terrible. Particularly, I really did not care for this doctor segment where they were diagnosing the celebrities. I thought it was actually kind of in poor taste and, well, not funny. Then we had like this really, really cringe-worthy moment with Maya Rudolph and Kenan Thompson, which did not work for me. I didn't think it was funny at all. I was just kind of waiting for it to be over, which is a shame because they're two really funny people. But Maya Rudolph, as much as I love her, she really swings for it, and unfortunately, I'd say she misses just as often as she hits it out the park. We did get like Barb and Star. Haven't watched the film, so I was just kind of chilling, but people seem to love it. And then probably my favorite of those little segments was the one with the little kids asking them about the Golden Globes. And it was like the first moment that my tear ducts were tested, as all of these kids knew Chadwick Boseman was the Black Panther. Their faces just kind of lit up. They loved him, and it was a really empowering and actually impactful moment, which took me by surprise in this kind of like fun, jokey little segment package. But otherwise, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler really didn't do anything for the entire show almost after their opening monologues, which was strange, but kind of lends itself once again to the idea, do we need hosts, or should this show have actually used their hosts again, because these packages just kind of bogged down the momentum of the show. We had this Zoom virtual socially distanced ceremony this year that for the most part worked just fine. We had Amy Poehler down in California, Tina Fey up in New York, and they each had their own rooms that they were presenting in. Some of the celebrities came out, but ultimately the flow of the show just didn't really work. So I hope moving forward with the Oscars coming up that we can figure out a way to just let it flow a little bit more naturally. As for the big moments of the evening, really the big moments centered around Chadwick Boseman. As I mentioned, we had that really fantastic and lovely moment with those kids, just showing what an impression he made on society and how impactful he was. But then, when he won for Best Actor in a Drama, his widow came on screen to accept the award for him, and oh my gosh, if you weren't just in puddles at that moment, I don't know how you did it, because it was so stirring and moving. She gave a lovely speech speaking on behalf of him, giving the speech to kind of demonstrate what kind of man he was and their connection. Not to mention, she looked absolutely beautiful, like a stunning dress. It really got me. And then we had our two Lifetime Achievement Award winners who were both fantastic, and their packages were really well put together. First, Norman Lear had a great package put together of just showcasing how daring he was, how much he really did for television and moving it forward to talk about these hard pressed issues. And then we get Jane Fonda, and her package was amazing, just highlighting what an amazing person she is. And then Jane herself came on out and gave hands down the best speech of the night, was maybe the best moment of the entire night. She came out and just laid it down how it is, told the truth how it needed to be told, and what I love is that her package showed she's not here to just talk the same old hollow talk. She has walked that walk. She's been thrown in prison. She's been fighting for all assets of equality her entire life and career. And she looped it back into empathy and the arts and related everything back to the nominees and the films that touched us all. It was a fantastic, fantastic speech. Elsewhere, it was very awkward to see the lead children come out and just kind of be ambassadors and give thanks to their parents because, well, the Hollywood Foreign Press didn't give thanks to their father, Spike Lee, when they voted on the nominee lists. But, it was also really awkward when Daniel Kaluuya won the first award of the night and we had technical problems right off the bat. Thankfully, they were resolved, and Daniel got to actually give his acceptance speech and have that moment of winning his award. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't a great look all around because after maybe 3 seconds of Kaluuya talking and it being silent, they were ready to yank him off the stage, cut it off, and say, well, thanks, moving right along. But he chimed in with, y'all did me dirty. No, no, no. I'm giving my speech, and thank goodness he did. But it was not a great look, just how fast they were ready to throw his moment away. But certainly the worst look of the night came from the Hollywood Foreign Press Association themselves, as 3 members from the board came on stage to address the bombshell of a story that was released just days ago. In fact, there are Black members of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which is unacceptable and quite shocking that in 2021 we're still just fighting for something, fighting for anyone to be there, helping to make decisions and vote on the nominees, the winners. This is exactly why people want to claim that we don't need to make these initiatives, we don't need to make these steps and continue to push like we push. But you see what happens when you're behind closed doors. Change doesn't really happen. It wasn't until they were exposed that, of course, the backtracking ensued. Unfortunately, though, the speech that was given up on that stage was so haphazard, seemed so inauthentic, and equated to less than a minute of airtime. And what really bothered me about this very short speech they gave was that there was no call to action. There was no plan to open up to these voices who aren't heard. It was just a bunch of lip service. So it wasn't a good look, particularly when you have your host roasting you, when you have the nominees roasting you, the winners roasting you, Jane Fonda completely showing you how it's done. For them to come out and give that, yeah, we're going to need better, Hollywood Foreign Press. But moving along to our winners, I did okay in my predictions. And some of these I was actually very happy to get wrong. Because on several occasions, the one I wanted to win did end up winning. And I went against my heart and tried to use my brain. But as usual, it backfired. Some shocking notes though. Mank, Promising Young Woman, and One Night in Miami all walked away with a goose egg. None of them won a single award, which was quite the shock. If you watched my predictions video, you know I had each of those films winning at least one award throughout the night. So, whoops. But I was so happy to see Soul take home the best original score. I thought it was the front runner, but I just overanalyzed. And now it is 100% my pick to win the Oscar. Soul all the way for best original score. Also, though, Wolfwalkers was not able to pick up this upset win at the Golden Globes, which means I think we can be pretty certain it won't be able to pull off the upset at the Oscars. If it could have weaseled its way into a victory, it would have been here, I think. So now I'm 99% Soul has that one locked up. Also, a shock to no one, Aaron Sorkin and the Trial of the Chicago 7 takes home Best Screenplay, and Minari takes home Best Foreign Language Film. And although, we were mad it was even nominated in that category, I'm glad it won something, and it won the only award it was nominated for. Plus, Lee Isaac Chung gave an amazing speech, which I hope will help propel those Oscar nominations to come. Elsewhere, it pretty much went down to the men. No surprises here. Women, everything was a shock. Best Supporting Actor, Daniel Kaluuya took it home. I'm so glad he did, and this definitely makes him the solid frontrunner as we move forward in awards season. Then we get to Best Lead Actor in a Comedy or Musical. Sacha Baron Cohen took it home, just like most of us saw coming. And Best Actor Drama, Chadwick Boseman, thankfully, took that one home as well, and I foresee a clean sweep in the Best Lead Acting category for Chadwick. Then it came to the ladies, and the shocks started early. We had Best Supporting Actress go to Jodie Foster. I was shook. We were all debating between Amanda Seyfried, Olivia, and Glenn Close, and here comes Jodie out of the clear blue sky to say, hey, I'm here. Now, will this translate to an Oscar nomination? It would be quite the momentum shift if it did. Then we look at Best Lead Actress in a Comedy or Musical. I said it in my predictions. I thought Maria Bakalova had this one on lock. But to my shock, Rosamund Pike came through with the victory. I was really happy about that one. This was a case where my should win won when I bet against him. However, I think this greatly damages Maria Bakalova's chances at an actual Oscar nomination because She's the only one of the 5 in her category who had any sort of actual legitimate awards buzz, and she couldn't take it home. And then finally, Best Actress in a Drama went to Andra Day. Not even in the discussions prior to the Golden Globe nominations. We were all looking at Viola Davis. We were looking at Frances McDormand, Vanessa Kirby even, and of course, Carey Mulligan. And popping out the woodwork, here comes Andra Day to say, "That's mine, thank you much." Now that leads me to believe, will these 5 ladies be our final 5 come Oscar time? Now, I still don't think Andra has it in her to go the full way for the Oscars. She's not really nominated anywhere else so far. But this makes for really intriguing races when it comes to both lead and supporting actresses. And what this means for us moving forward, it should be a good time. But then we got to the big awards of the evening. First, Best Picture, Musical or Comedy, went to Borat subsequent movie film. Zero shock there, but I do have to say, Sacha Baron Cohen killed his speeches. Both of them were fantastic. Isla Fisher was so excited for him. But it was great that he won these awards just so we could get those great intelligent speeches. And then we had Best Director, and Chloe Zhao took it home. I was so excited. I thought for sure the Golden Globes were going to go a safer route, but we got it. We have only our second female winner at the Golden Globes for Best Director, the first since Barbra Streisand. And this marks our first ever woman of color to win the award. And if she is able to win at the Oscars, would be the same case there. Even if we're able to get her and, say, Regina King to get nominated at the Oscars, I think they're amongst, if not, the first women of color to get nominations, nevertheless wins. Regardless, this heavily puts Chloe Zhao in the driver's seat. She has dominated the Best Director circuit up to this point, and the Golden Globes win over some strong competition when it comes to the awards race bodes very well moving forward. Chloe, you're now the odds-on favorite. I hope you win. And finally, Best Picture Drama went to Nomadland, so they loved it, which makes it even all the more surprising that Frances McDormand didn't win for Best Actress. But Nomadland comes through, takes down the easy picks of Trial of Chicago 7 and Mank to win in the big ones. So Chloe Zhao has all that momentum on her and her film's side right now, and I, for one, was just happy to see it. As for the TV categories, you know I don't pay attention, but I was really happy to see Anya Taylor-Joy win. But that was it. That was my recap and review for the 2021 Golden Globe Awards. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. What did you think of this year's Golden Globes? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!